What about Ronaldo? Now, there are two camps. There are certain individuals who believe Ronaldo is holding Manchester United back because of maybe his limitations now that he is 37 years old, versus Ronaldo and all the goals that he scores. I know he didn't get one today, but he's still the top scorer for the side in all competitions and all of that. So where do you fall on this? Renee, do you think that it was a wise investment bringing him back to his club?
Well, it was an emotional decision, first and foremost, because of the fear that he was going to join Manchester City and blah, blah, blah. It's a commercial decision because obviously it was good for the club to have somebody with his brand. So, and then, in terms of a player, Ronaldo is like I said, he's not the same player anymore as when he walked out of Manchester United. So what walked in the door was a serial winner. A guy that has won everything that you can win, whether on club level, country level, individual trophies, etc. This guy has got the highest expectations. But what he also needs to understand that he's not the Ronaldo anymore from 10 years ago, although he might still feel the same body-wise, but he's not. So what I would have liked to see is that Ronaldo doesn't want nothing else more than be in the box at the end of things and scoring goals. That's what he wants. That's where he lives for. But I think if somebody would have made him understand, I said, Cristiano, you're still too good of a footballer to also contribute a little bit more into the build-up play and dragging players out of position and this and that and the other, where other players can come in, because United's got plenty of firepower alongside and around him. So it's a part of a management. I still think if it works well, because if you have the right game plan and you give Cristiano and other players plenty of service, they will score goals. He had a bit of a drought, lately, but he scored against Brighton, which was a fantastic goal again. And he can still be very, very important player, because especially when you go in the Champions League, very experienced, and you give him the right chances, he will deliver.
So you're in the camp that believes Ronaldo can contribute to Manchester United's fortunes?
Yes, absolutely.
Michael?
I think he can certainly benefit. You look at the professionalism, the ability to score goals. You've seen areas that Manchester United were struggling in games that he does produce goals. And I think he's somebody, if he actually accepts at some point that he's not going to be able to play every single minute, to do everything, as Rennie just said there, regards to what he could do before, he has to change that role and accept when the manager will take him off at times for the good of the team and accept those decisions, then it'll last a lot better and a lot longer with Cristiano Ronaldo. So I think it's been a certain plus point in a difficult time for Manchester United, globally again, commercially, and showing the rest of those youngsters, there's some good youngsters at Manchester United, what the way to do things, how he goes about, what he expects, the level of professionalism. So I think it's a plus point, but it needs to be managed. And I think Ronaldo, and as myself, as you're finishing later on your career, you feel like you can do it. You feel like you know more than maybe the coaches, the managers, because of what you've been through. But you have to understand your place in the whole team. And if you can do that, it's going to last longer, but certainly a plus point so far.
Brownie, you're also a contemporary of his when he was at Manchester United for the first time. What's it like being in the tunnel when you see Cristiano Ronaldo? I'm sure it didn't faze you, but what about some of your teammates maybe who are don't have as strong fibre as you do, let's say?
I think for me is the take on the challenge. We discussed it earlier about going to Ellen Road, where you go to a crowd where it's going to be hostile. For me, I thought, bring it on, bring the better players. I want to challenge myself. I wanted to make it difficult for them. But again, you're looking at a Cristiano Ronaldo, when those teams all line up next to Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United, they're in awe of him. Straight away, the defenders who are playing against them are looking and thinking, wow, what's he going to be today? So, yeah, he's still got that wow factor, and it's incredible. For the Premier League, it's been wonderful to see him again. But, yeah, he still will be having a one or two people's doubts and whether they can deal with him, how they look after him. But, yeah, certain players can't still handle it, weak-minded, which is amazing. You wouldn't think that Premier League football, but it certainly happens.
He's definitely, for me, Michael, as well, made a far more courageous decision than Messi, who's another one, an all-time great, who goes to Paris Saint-Germain, who normally wins the league every year with the street length ahead. And you know how difficult the Premier League is. And coming in here, 36, 37, you can go in France, you can go as Paris Saint-Germain to a bottom 4 team, and you know you're going to win it. You know, you probably only have to play 60-70% of your capabilities. In England, you go to your bottom 4 teams, and you have to be at 100%, or you might slip up. And that is a massive challenge, and that's what I've always admired with Cristiano. As young as I got to know him, to work with him, his commitment and his desire.
That he takes that challenge on as well. That's what you're saying. He takes it head on. But do you think in the dressing room area, the type of character is, if they go in and when he loses, what type of personality? You know, will he be quite forgiving, or will he be quite vocal and quite aggressive to the other teammates when they're not at the best?
Well, I think and he's seen that. We've seen that at times, and I think that is an area that needs to be managed. You know, Cristiano he's not somebody that hides his frustration. At times, you know, we've seen it walking off the tunnel and all that, and then things come out. He said this in the dressing room, said that. And we all know it, Michael. We've all been in dressing rooms where things have not gone our way. And then you got one group of players that are very quiet. They bury their hands in the hands, and there are other ones that are frustrated, and they speak up and they tell the other players, this is not good enough. You know, we need to be better than that. You know, and I'm sure that, you know, Cristiano has probably done that because, like I said, of the expectations that he brings to himself and to the club.